Greetings, guys. It is Godswill, and today we're going to be discussing something different. It's still the same topic of Spider-Man and Peter Parker, but this is I I never knew the story existed. This is the Peter Parker of Earth 9591. And when I read about it, because I heard it was disturbing, I was like, it's a Spider-Man story. It can't be disturbing. But when I found out what happened, oh dear Jesus. And then after this, I went down the rabbit hole of dark Spider-Man stories, and one where he actually becomes a man-eating spider. It's all crazy and shit. But today we're talking about the Peter Parker of Earth 9591. Now, this story, it starts how you would think a normal Peter Parker story would start out. He's doing his job. He's working at the Daily Bugle, helping out May, trying to get into college, you know. Then he got bit by the radioactive spider. Now, at first glance, this seems like any normal Spider-Man tale. But wrong you are. What you're seeing on the image is a side-by-side. Yes, those are both Peter Parker of 9591. Instead of getting superpowers from getting bit by the radioactive spider, instead his skin rashed up to a point where he was unrecognizable. His hair fell out, and he even gave someone cancer, leading to their death. Which man, that's like, this is from the Marvel Ruins series. This takes your stereotypical Marvel stories and turns them into dark tales, like a creepypasta. But when I found out about this, I was like, there's no way. Peter Parker doesn't become Spider-Man, but instead he turns into a mutant with rash all over his skin to where he's unrecognizable, to the point where he's seemingly quarantined away from everybody because I'm guessing he found out he killed someone, and he doesn't want anyone to be affected with what he has. It's dark. This story is dark. For all the shit Peter Parker goes through in the Raimi series or the Mark Webb series, or even now with the Tom Holland series, none of those Spider-Men can compare to what this Peter Parker goes through. Not only can he just not do anything, not only can he not have any, not only will he be a loner, he's not going to have anybody to be around because he's just a mutant, rashed up creature. It's tragic. It's really tragic. It's just pretty fucking tragic because I never thought you'd think that, like, this is what you would think would realistically would happen if you got bit by a radioactive spider. But this story, I think it kind of exaggerates it to a point to where it affects his whole body. But, you never know. This could happen if you actually get bit by a radioactive spider, and it's tragic. But we're going to move on to Spider Zombie. Marvel Zombies. Peter Parker gets bit by the Steve Rogers of this universe, which of course he's a zombie. The Avengers are eating people. All the Avengers are zombies, and Peter got bit. He comes home to warn Aunt May and Mary Jane Watson, telling him to flee. But then he eats the ever-living fuck out of Mary Jane. It's fucking horrendous. The zombie takes over, and the thing is, Peter Parker is aware of what he's doing, and he can't stop it. He can't stop it. He tells May to run, and he's not himself right now. But unfortunately, he gets to May too. Wow. Well, these were some dark Marvel Spider-Man stories that I found on the internet, and they're fascinating. What if the hero becomes a zombie? What if when you get bit, it doesn't give you powers? Instead, it just makes you a rashed up mutant that ruins your life. It's dark shit, man. But that's the beauty of these stories. You can create what you want. You have the liberty to do what you want. Since I love horror and I love Spider-Man, this pretty much brings them together. So if you want to, if you're like me and you like horror and Spider-Man, give these stories a read. They're pretty good, I'd say. They're disturbing somewhat, and it and Marvel fans like little go too far. Like, this is the most disturbing shit I've ever seen, but there has been worse. You see, with Marvel fans, most Marvel fans, I mean, they haven't really experienced something really graphic and stuff like us horror fans. But these stories are pretty fucking good. Spider Zombie and Peter Parker Earth 9591 are all fascinating stories. But this capped my interest, and I just really enjoyed these stories. So that Across the Spider-Verse review should be coming soon, later this week. Peace, guys.